name is PhoenixNormand, although my legal name is Gerald Normand. French dad, what can I tell you? So. I think I've been singing probably since maybe out of the womb. I tell everyone that. My mom always had me sort of in church choirs and school plays and things of that nature, so I've always enjoyed singing. My grandmother loves everything from like old blues and, original soul. My mom was kind of, music of the time. She loved jazz and just the typical sort of R&B at the time as well, so. I think my goal has pretty much always been just to do something that touches people. That may sound a little cliche, but it's literally been my mantra ever since I started. I've always wanted to do music that people are able to sort of dig into and relate to, that sort of thing. I love the blues, not just because my grandmother played it, but it was one of those things where it had an emotion to it, and it was very distinct emotion and a distinct sound that captured you. I've always wanted to not necessarily do the popular thing, but to do something where it was real and it was a true expression of who I was as an artist. And it's not about, your artistic integrity and all of that. It's really just, are you saying something that touches me in some way? Don't throw shade. That's so like 2001. Just don't.
Throw shade.
I cut the crap out of the shirt and it's kind of fabulous.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did, Auntie.
Throw shade.
I said throw shade. Don't crochet.
I was like crochet. That's it. Yeah, that's.
I think for me, it's performing live. That's one thing that, sort of in the new paradigm of music, that's the one thing you can't fake. A lot of new artists are so involved in the show and sort of the spectacle that they leave out the sort of very personal, eye-to-eye connection that you have with your audience because they're so worried about their choreography or if the track is gonna skip or stuff like that when I was coming up, you never worried about. If you couldn't handle yourself on stage and your musicians weren't tight, then you'd get booed off the stage. Again, that sort of one-on-one connection with someone that's in the audience that you can just tell when you lock eyes with someone, they're feeling you or they're not. And once you get that, it sort of feeds you. And as a performer, I think there's no better connection that you can have with someone.
Don't freak out.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out. We're used to this. We're professional.
Alright, how you doing, Great America?
Greatest struggle, that's kind of a tough one. I think it almost feels like it's in two parts. Like originally when I was first coming up, that was the biggest struggle, just trying to be relevant in an industry of, at the time, amazing artists. I mean, I was lucky enough to come up with a bunch of people who were just amazing at their craft. Charlie Hunter, the Professionals, Lettucey is who I sang with for about like 18 years. But they were amazing musicians. That was the struggle then. It was really just trying to, carve out your own niche get a crowd to come to your shows and make it, or hope that, you know, somebody saw what you were doing and appreciated it and decided to come to your show again and told their friends, and maybe their friend knew an executive, you know, that whole paradigm about, you know, trying to get on someone's radar who had the mighty pen, who could sign you, that sort of thing. Nowadays, I think the hardest thing is there are so many people within the genre that I'm in right now that it's really hard to sort of rise to the top of that, just because it's so inundated with crap. And then there's some great stuff, but a lot of the great stuff has a hard time rising to the top just because the crap is so prevalent. That's probably, you know, the struggle, the 2013 struggle. In all honesty, you know, one of the things where I just feel often that I'm honestly not really interested in kind of fighting that fight as much as I used to when I was younger. So
What is the event that you're doing?
Oh, so tonight is I'm doing. We're here at Great America. That's probably why you hear a roller coaster in the background and all the screaming. And Great America is an amusement park that I used to come to when I was a kid, like everybody else. And I've loved it for, God, I'm embarrassed to say, like 2 decades or more. But the event tonight is Pride Night 2013, just kind of celebrating the LGBT community and having a night where the park is kind of closed down and it's just open to us. And it's cool. The park itself has dedicated a night where people can just come and be completely themselves, completely free, and, you know, come with their boyfriends and girlfriends and, you know, be hand in hand walking down the street and stuff like that, and not feel any drama or any kind of shame about it or any stress. And obviously, the backside of that is it's one of my last shows. I've decided that I've been in music probably since I was about 18 years old. And at 43, I'm kind of done. So this is one of the last shows that I'm going to be doing, and embarking on something else. It's kind of daunting, the fact that music has basically fed me and bought my house. It's been like my lover, so to speak, for almost 20 years. What makes me happy? What am I passionate about? To me, I think being an artist, it's about being true to yourself, and it's about being truthful. I think there's a ridiculous amount of vulnerability involved in art in general, and in being an artist. I think if you allow yourself to be vulnerable and able to accept criticism, or at least hear it, then it allows you to actually grow. I think one thing that I've learned in my art as a singer, now as a craftsman, is that not everybody is going to like what you're doing, but the one thing that they can't take away from me is the fact that it's 100% mine. 100%. Like, not 80%, not 60%, not 94%. It's 100% mine. And therefore, it's never wrong, per se. It may not be right for you, but it's not wrong. And I think, to me, that's what being an artist is being able to realize that it's okay to be vulnerable and to put yourself out there and to put your art out there for people to either love or kind of like or absolutely abhor. You do it from a pure place. And that's all that matters. It's not about the gratitude. It's not about the money that comes with that. It's that you were able to create something that's 100% yours, be vulnerable enough to put it out there, and leave it in the ether.
It's not yours.